Hi everyone, I'm back with your astrological news for the week. Dun, 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 dun. What are the planets and what are the changes they're making this week? Shh, hey! Sorry, my dog just gets excited every time I start recording. Anyway, what are the movements that the planet's going to make this week? Okay, let's discuss some of the movements. First of all, the nodes are changing places, okay? K2 and Rahu. Okay, if you don't know about Vedic astrology, look into it. One deals with karma, the other deals with future, what it is that you need to do to elevate yourself as you move on through this life, okay? And the only way you're going to find that is if you get your full astrological chart, okay? Get your full astrological chart, and it's going to go ahead and tell you where those placements are in your chart, okay? Also, I'm going to do this very intuitively. I'm not doing it because it's I'm an astrologist. I am not. For me, I have learned some astrology. I don't follow it completely. What I'm doing is intuitively explaining to you what the energy I'm feeling is coming from the movements of these nodes into different signs. Let's begin. First of all, they're in Taurus and Scorpio right now. On the 17th, they will be in Aries and Libra. And when I look at these signs, Scorpio and Taurus, it is about me. Me. What is going to fulfill me? If I do this for this person, am I going to get something out of it? Oh, is this person going to be beneficial for me? Because I want to get something out of this. It's about being into yourself, which is not a bad thing, right? When you're into yourself, you really put up boundaries of what you want and need, right? And this is what Scorpio and Taurus is about. Taurus tends to be a little bit more comfortable with being fair, but Scorpio, not so much. Scorpio is comfortable with receiving what is best for them and wanting things done their way, right? And yes, they are a great sign when they love. They love unconditionally, but not so, because they still have conditions. They want you to do things a certain way. What I mean is that they love very deeply, but they fail to see that what they're doing is not balanced, right? When they're forcing people, when they're wanting things their ways. I have met a lot of Scorpios who are great, but they always end up thinking, how is this going to benefit me? I think we all do that, but I think to some degree, Scorpio can be a little malicious with that. Okay, to some degree, Scorpio can be very manipulative when it comes to their own selfish needs, even to the point of, trotting on others in order for them to receive what it is that they want and need. Okay, so I feel like now these nodes moving places take us out of our own set of this is the way I want it, from being like, oh, is it going to work for me? I want this, I want that. And now we go from I want to what is best for us, we, all of us, in a general sense, okay? And being fair and balancing things out. I think now that it goes into Aries, it gives us that passionate energy, right? To move forward and actually go for what we want. And then being in the scales, the Libra, it'll show us, hey, what, the pros and cons, how I'm going to move forward. How is it going to affect everyone else? What am I going to do to make sure that I'm being fair to myself as well as everyone else? Now, being in the sign of Scorpio and Taurus, where it is now, it's not necessarily us being fair to everyone. It's us being maybe manipulated by others, or us manipulating others, or being selfish and not seeing the truth for what it is, right? Here, in this instance, as the nodes change places, we're going to go ahead and look at the overall general energy. We're going to analyze and focus. We're going to do the pros and cons, yet being passionate about what we want, but being fair, right? And looking at all areas. And what is affecting us? What is holding us back? When we're selfish, we don't see what's holding us back. We just go for it, right? We just want it. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It's just what we want, right? Now, moving into a more balanced cardinal sign, the nodes, it gives us a chance to look at everything and even see ourselves as, what are we doing wrong? You know, why was I attracted to this person? Why was I attracted to this situation? And how can I change this so that I'm more balanced and I don't attract these individuals, this situation, or this job, you know? Or if before you were so selfish that you didn't see the goodness that was in front of you, now is the time where you're going to see, hey, oh my goodness, I failed to see this because I was in my ego side, okay? So now that gives us a chance. Right now, your nods are moving places, and this gives us a chance to find that balance in our own lives, in our own way of dealing with people, and in our own emotions. As back when Scorpio was when the nods was in Scorpio and in Taurus, it was more about us, our own ego side, what we want, what we can gain from it. Here is a balance. Even in your own holding yourself back. Because sometimes when we're so egotistical, what happens? We hold back all the good because we don't see it. We don't see it and we don't know how to balance ourselves. So I think that the nods moving into this is actually a good thing. A lot of us might differ. A lot of us might say no. But me intuitively and what I am being guided to is yes, this is a time of balancing out and being fair to everyone, even to yourself, okay? And going after what you want passionately, but doing it the right way, not being selfish, okay? Never be selfish. In order for yourself to elevate yourself, you know, in order to be elevated, you have to know how to balance your emotions. You need to make choices that are good for you. You need to see it all, okay? Because sometimes when we're in our ego, we're selfish. If someone says something we don't like, we get in our ego and we don't want to listen to them. But this time, we're going to look at everything and we're going to see it for what it is. And we're going to be like, oh, yeah, this is where I failed to do this. This is where I need to balance this. This is where I need to think as a whole, okay? So this is the good thing about the nods changing places. I really believe it's going to be good outcomes and it's going to be good choices and us moving forward and doing things right, okay? And it gives us a time to reflect on what we have done wrong and not think only about our own selfish needs, but look at the overall need. And at the same time, not miss opportunities because we're so selfish, fixated on one thing, okay? You don't want to be fixated. When you think of the fixed signs, that's something that they have. They can't let go of, cycles. It's hard for them to let go of cycles. They continue certain cycles. Because they feel like it helps them in some way and they're fixated on things and situations and they get fixated in a cycle instead of breaking that cycle and releasing themselves from it, okay? As a cardinal sign, some people can be fixated, but they're more like, this ain't working out, I'm not going to give it any energy. You know, if it's something balanced, then I will come back to it, okay? Whereas fixed signs, just what they're called, fixated, unless they're elevated, unless they've learned lessons where they become more humble, they're very much to what I want, what I need, what's best for me. Now, in the cardinal signs, we get, as being leaders, right? We get people who, the energy of, we need to be balanced, we need to be fair, and I can't be in my ego side. I have to realize that what I want and need isn't always good for me, right? And I can't be fixated on one thing. I need to learn to balance everything out. So that's the overall energy when the nods move places, and I think it's great. We are all here to learn to grow. We are all put in a certain, a lot of people don't believe in zodiac signs. And I tell them, it's okay. You don't have to believe in it. You don't have to believe in it, right? Because there's so many energies interplaying that it's not only about those energies. There's many different energies. Just like tarot, I tell people, I read the tarot cards. It is for educational stuff, right? It is not for you to say, oh, it's definitely going to happen that way, because it's not. We are living life. We have free will. We are not just a zodiac sign. We are a whole interplay of different energies, right? And those energies interplay in our lives differently. So sometimes someone would tell me, well, that didn't happen. And though it's part of I did my whole chart and that didn't come out that way. No, it's not going to come out that way. It's not. Absolutely not. You got too many different energies here to think that one way is the only way. This is me. I'm a cardinal sign. I am balanced. I will look at everything overall and I will tell you, no, it's not. There is many different energies interplaying here. So take everything with a grain of salt and realize that you have free will. Not everything is set in stone. Life is fluid. Everything is fluid. Okay? That's why I'm a cardinal sign. I am fluid. I need to be a little bit about me. I need to be a little bit more selfish. I need to have more boundaries. I don't. I tend to be the one who gives a lot. I need to pull back and not give and let people give to me. Okay. So this is the energy I'm learning. I'm always about, I want to help the next person. This is who I am. I'm a Capricorn. People see me as reserved. I am reserved. But once you get to know me, I'm a very open-go-lucky person and I love to have fun. And I like to do exciting things. I am very adventurous. So a lot of times they say Capricorn is not adventurous. No. I love last minute tricks, okay? I love doing anything last minute. I love dancing. I love anything erotic, intimacy, passionate. I love it all. Why? I'm not just my zodiac sign, people. I am a chart of different personalities, of different planets in my chart. So I am an individual who is not just one zodiac sign. I'm an individual who's made up of many different things, culturally, right? Race, where I grew up, my zodiac sign. So there's so much more interplay. And this is the things that we need to take into heart, right? Before deciding, that's fake. And this is not. No, it's not all. None of it. You know what? A lot of things are playing a role in our lives and the choices that we make. But I feel that when we move into a cardinal sign with the nods, we're moving into a more balanced situation than we have with the fixed signs, because the fixed signs can be very like, I want it this way, I want it that way. But that's a lesson that we cardinal signs are learning from the fixed signs. How to be a little bit more me, how to be a little bit more stern, how to not have like loose boundaries, because sometimes I meet people and I'm like, they're so sweet, and I take them for who they are, and I see the potential, and then I realize I'm making a mistake. Who they are showing me who they are is who they really are. And when they're making mistakes, I need to learn to put boundaries and say, hey, this was disrespectful and I don't appreciate this. So you know what? I'm not going to talk to you for a little bit, or I'm going to just pull my energy away, right? These are boundaries that cardinal signs need to do. Okay. So just a little update on hearing that, but it's going to be a good thing. The nods changing places. Okay. We are going to be balancing our lives out, making choices now, not from the ego, but from a place of authenticity and understanding everyone's situation, and even understanding where did we fell in the last phase, where the nods were in Taurus and Scorpio, and how can we change to make things better and not really, selfish, where we're fixated on our own selves. Okay. So that's a great energy. All right. So, another thing, Venus is going reverse, right? Not reverse, but it is going, not literally reverse, because Venus the planet Venus doesn't literally go reverse. It's the angle that is seen from the Earth makes it look like it's going retrograde, right? Because this isn't a slow movement and the axis is on, right? That's what that is all about, okay? So Venus going retrograde at this moment, okay, on the 22nd, it's going to help us go back to the blueprint of what it is that we want, to actually revert back and see where did we go wrong, whether it be with work, relationships, our passions, what are we passionate about? What do I want to change? What I want to input? Where did I, not see this coming? Because sometimes in relationships, right, what happens in relationships, especially during the season we were in, where the nods were in, we were very more about me, and not thinking about the next person, right? We were more focused on ourselves, which is good. Sometimes you need to be focused on yourself, and there are other times you need to be focused on the whole, okay? So with Venus going back, I feel it gives us a chance to retrace our steps, see where we went wrong, understand ourselves better, And if we do meet someone during the Venus retrograde, because I'm single and I'm like, well, what happens if I meet someone during the Venus retrograde? My overall intuition and my feeling is great. You met someone during the retrograde. That's going to give you a chance to really get to know the person completely. That gives us a chance to take off the rose-colored glasses and see an individual for who they are, completely, and get to know them. And when Venus goes forward, doesn't mean that we're not going to like them. No, it just means that we're going to love them even more because we've gotten to know them completely as a person, okay? Now, a lot of people say, well, what happens when I'm in a relationship? Well, if you were in a relationship when Venus goes retrograde, that wasn't so great before that, and this person was egotistical or egotistical, or even too selfless, there may be a chance that there may be some breakups, right? And that happens in order for us to learn. People say that the breakups won't last. I don't agree with that. I feel like when you are done with someone, whether it is a Venus retrograde or Mercury retrograde, you will definitely stay away from that person if you learned your life lesson, right? But if your life lesson wasn't learned and you didn't learn, or you didn't do things right, or you weren't fair, you might go back to that person, right? And going back just means that you go back because there's some unfinished business, or because you needed to learn a process that you were not completely learned, or maybe you needed to stay with that person permanently. I don't know what the situation is. Every situation is different. But I don't want people to be afraid because Venus is retrograde. Oh, I can't fall in love, or I can't find that partner that I want. No, you are going to find that partner. You're just not going to be like in an all lovey-dovey, but you're going to listen and look and see who they're all about and be fair, okay? Can love be exciting at this time? Yes, love can be exciting because, again, we have lots of different energies. Don't always fall back onto one energy and think this is solely going to be this way, because it's not. Life is made of different energies, okay? If you do happen to go back to a past love that you left before that, before Venus went retrograde, it might be because you needed to go back to that person for a lesson. It might be also because you're definitely going to end up staying with that person. That's the way I see it. You're going to end up, this is what my intuition is telling me, all right? So, and if in Venus retrograde, you want to change your style, and people are like, don't change it, it's Venus retrograde. No, change your style. Because you changing your style is going to help you learn what it is that you really want to incorporate, right? In your beauty routine, in your beauty fashion, okay? Now, I'm not saying do big surgeries. Don't do big surgeries. Anytime in your life where things are like, when it is a full moon, don't do big surgeries. Take it with a grain of salt and see where it's at. But always follow your intuition, because you got guides. You got an intuition that will tell you which way to move forward. You may do something during the Venus retrograde that you're going to be like, oh, that was the best thing ever. Yes. And then when you come out of the retrograde, you might be like, oh, I don't know why I did that. Yes, we're human. We change. Our emotions change. And what we liked at one time isn't what we like after that time is done. But that doesn't mean nothing, because you might love it even more when the time is done. See what I mean? It's all different. Take the energy as it flows, but it is a time of reflecting, and it is a time of going back and seeing what it is that we really want in our love life, what it is that we really want from a job, what it is that we want from a partnership, and is the partner we were with or the partner we are with what we need. All right? And those are beautiful lessons to learn, okay? All right, let's go ahead. Now, I'm going to do the Venus, what to expect for Venus for each zodiac sign. I'm going to pull out 1 or 2 cards. It's not going to be a lot of cards, so 1 or 2 cards. I'm going to start with the sign of Leo. So, Leo, what is the overall energy for you during Venus retrograde? Let's see what the energies are and what we get, right? Because, we don't know what we're going to get. I do not do reversals. The cards have enough negative. So, tarot cards have enough negative cards in the deck. I don't need to do any reversals because of that. All right. So let's move forward and see what it is for Leo. Leo, what can we expect, guides, spirits, ancestors, energies? What can we expect for the sign of Leo? Ooh, here we go. So, Leo, we actually got 2 cards. The first one is the 2 of Swords. And the second is balanced. Okay, so during Venus retrograde, what we're expecting you to do is you need to make a choice, okay? A choice. What is it that you want out of life? Who it is that you want to move forward with, right? What it is that you need, okay, in order to bring in balance, Leo, into your life, okay? It could be that you need to balance your emotions, okay? It could be that you need to be more balanced with your communication. It could be that you need to make a choice, okay, in order for you to receive that balance that you need in your life, okay? So Venus retrograde is going to help you decide what it is that you want and need, and also to bring in balance into your life and not be into, when you have one foot in the water, one foot in the land, one foot with this situation, one foot of that, or you have an emotion that, okay, I want this, but I don't want this. Well, this season, Venus being retrograde, is going to help you find that balance you need in order to make the right choices, okay? So that was for the sign of Leo. Okay, from Leo, we are going to, let's see which is the next one that I wanted to go into. Hold on for a second. I need to put this up to decide which one I'm going into next because, I want to make sure we go into the right stuff. It's going to take me a few seconds. Okay, it takes me a few seconds to, you're probably like, oh my gosh, she's taking too long. Yeah, sometimes it takes long. I just want to see which sign I should focus on next. So let's do this. After Leo, we are going to be doing Virgo. We're going to follow the chart as it is, okay? I always forget. I don't have them in mind, and sometimes when I'm talking, I forget a lot of things. So it's good to look at a chart, okay? So we're going to start with Virgo. Next is Virgo. Virgo, what to expect during Venus retrograde for you? What are things you need to work on? What are situations that you need to improve, right? What are some things that you need to be focused on during the retrograde of Venus? What lessons will Venus come in for you? What things your own intuition and your own mind need you to change, okay? So this is for the sign of Virgo, and we're going to go ahead and pick out, hopefully it's 2 cards, and if 1 card comes out, that's all I'm using is 1 card because that's what Spirit Universe wants me to focus on. Anything more than 3, I am not doing. Okay, so what is the focus for Virgo for Venus retrograde? What is the focus for Virgo, for the sign of Virgo, please? Okay, we got 1 card. Let's see what that is. Ooh, we got the Page of Swords. Okay, Virgo, for your time period, for Venus retrograde, the energy is for you to become clear and concise of what you want and need, right? And to bring that forward and to communicate that, okay? Don't hold your communication back. Don't pull back. Communicate what it is that you want. Reflect on what it is that you want and make it known, okay? So that is your energy, Virgo, for Venus retrograde. It's really going in and seeing what it is that you want, how you're going to move forward, and communicating that, okay? So Page of Swords, and even cutting things out that you no longer think serve you, okay? Because a Page of Swords, he has a sword here for a reason. This is air element, right? And this is really moving forward in that direction where you can communicate what it is that you want, what it is that you need, and what you want to cut out of your life, okay? So this is your overall energy for Venus retrograde for the sign of Virgo. Now we're going to go into the next sign, which will be Libra. What it is that Libra needs to do, or the energy around Libra during Venus retrograde. What it is that Libra needs to focus on, and what is the energy for Libra during the retrograde. We're going to get those energies. This is important, right? It's always nice to get the energies and see what it is that Spirit Universe, the energies around us, if you don't believe in Spirit or Universe, want us to focus on, or what comes out. What just comes out, right? Let's see what comes out for Venus retrograde. And then I'm going to do the life lesson during the knots changing places for going into Aries and Libra. We're going to do that energy, but I'm going to do more cards for that one for each zodiac sign. So we're doing right now Libra. What is the energy for Libra? What is the energy for Libra? A lot of cards want to come out here, but they're not fully coming out. What is the energy? Let's see that. What is the energy for Libra? Libra, the cards have a lot to say, but there has to be only one card. What is the energy? There we go. The Fool. Wonderful energy. So Libra, your energy, your overall message for when Venus goes retrograde is to be like the Fool. Go out there, do things you've always wanted to do. Reach out to whoever you want to reach out to. If there's something in your heart that you really want to do, if there's something that you were really wanting to take a leap of faith forward to, this card is telling me to go ahead and do it. You're going to be getting into new things, new possibilities. Try them out. Be like the Fool. Go out and try them out, because I feel like this is going to bring in whatever it is that you're searching for or need, okay? Just go out like the Fool. The Fool goes out, takes his initiatives, does whatever without even knowing what to expect. He's just going out and doing what he's supposed to do because his intuition, or there's a feeling of doing this, you know, oh, I want to take this dance class, but I'm not sure if I'm good at it. But if you have that feeling, go ahead and do it. Oh, I want to reach out to this person, but I'm not sure if this person is going to go ahead and want to speak to me. Forget about it. Be like the Fool. Go out and do it. All right. Don't do anything that's going to hurt you, you know, physically, you know, or do damage to you, but do things that you want to take the initiative on. You want to apply for this job and you're not sure if you're going to get it. Apply for it anyway. You never know. You might be starting something new. Okay. So that is the overall energy. And it says a new start. Trust yourself. Push your fears to the side and take a leap of faith. You're going to be like the Fool. That is beautiful energy, Libra. Wonderful. Okay, now we're going to do the next zodiac sign that comes up here. Let's see what we have. After Libra, we're going to do Scorpio. Okay, let's see what's the energy for Scorpio. Now that the nods are changing places for the sign of Scorpio, what is the energy for Scorpio? What is something? And we're not going to focus on the nods because, you know, okay. No, we're going to focus on, since Venus is going reverse, and yes, the nods are changing places, and it was in the sign of Scorpio. We want to focus on what is the overall energy for Scorpio during Venus retrograde. What is the energy? What is the advice? What is something that they need to do? What is something they need to follow? So we want this for the sign of Scorpio. Let's see what happens during Venus retrograde, because this is important, right? During Venus retrograde. I shuffle the cards many different ways. I could do it this way or the other way. I don't know, but I choose different ways. So it's all up to me. Okay, so this is one more shuffle. You know, I just shuffle whatever I feel I need to do. Okay. So for the sign of Scorpio, what is the card during Venus retrograde for the sign of Scorpio? Please give me one card. One card, please. Okay, there we go. One card. Let's see. The Nine of Swords. Okay, so what are our focus here? Stop overthinking. Okay. You're going to be or reflect. Either or. During the Venus retrograde, you're going to be overthinking, overanalyzing. You're going to have sleepless nights because you're overthinking a situation. Try to get out of that. And if it's because universe is telling you to be reflective before you make certain moves, before you're doing certain things, then I will reflect before doing any moves, okay, Scorpio? Before you put anything into action, before you put anything out there, reflect on what you're doing, because sometimes we do things without reflection. And I think that's the overall energy I'm getting here. Reflect before you do something. A lot of times we jump the gun and we do things without thinking. Listen, the nods are changing places. It's time for you to reflect and think about what you're doing before you make that change, okay? And it is also saying do not over-focus. After you've done something, even though you know, oh man, it didn't work out this way, don't get stuck in this mindset, okay? Move away from that mindset also, if possible. But for me, what it's telling me is reflect, please. Reflect before you take steps forwards to do things, okay? And don't get stuck. Don't overthink and don't think negatively, because there are a lot of unknowns right now around you, or maybe situations that you're not sure about, or a situation that you're not sure about. Don't stay stuck there. Move forward. and don't jump the gun and do things that you are going to regret later. It's the biggest thing. Okay, so in this card it says unfounded fear, expecting the worst, thus creating self-fulfilling prophecies, allowing worry to grow out of proportion to a situation. Sleepless nights, refocus your thoughts, and think before you jump the gun. Think, take back, think about it. Don't do something that you're going to regret later. Okay, so that's the overall energy while Venus is retrograde. Scorpio, beautiful. Okay, great advice. Okay, next sign we are doing is Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius, what's your overall energy? Let's see what's going on. I know my phone is doing these weird lighting changes, but I'm sorry, it's my old phone because I'm using my new phones to reflect back and look at things that I have written on this phone, especially when I do the nod readings. Okay, so what is something that Sagittarius needs to focus on during Venus retrograde? Let's see what the energies want us to focus on. Okay, let's see. What is something that Sagittarius needs to focus on during Venus retrograde? Venus retrograde for Sagittarius. Let's see what it is to focus. Let's see what comes up. One card, please. One card, please, for the energies for Sagittarius. Okay, cards want to come out, but not. Ooh, we got too many. We got 3, I think. Okay, that's all we're taking. We're not taking any more. Okay, Sagittarius, for Venus retrograde. Okay, you got 3 cards. I don't take no more than 3. I'm not doing no more. The first card you got is of walking away or wanting to walk away from a situation, but not really taking the steps forward quite yet, okay? Or of considering up to going in a different route, okay? Which would be the Fool, but you're not the Fool here. You're holding back. There's 10 swords. There's something that's making you feel heavy here, and Venus is wanting you to let it go, okay? Whether it be an outcome, a situation, a job, something is making you feel heavy, and you're not sure, you know, of what you want to do. But what I'm getting is you need to end the situation. Whatever is making you feel heavy, you need to end it, okay? And that's the overall energy for this reading here is you need to end a certain situation during Venus retrograde, or you need to let go of fears, or you need to let go of the heavy burdens, okay? Even if it's not ending a situation, you need to let go of the heavy burdens in order to move forward from whatever feelings have left you feeling like, oh man, the world isn't exactly, things are not working out. No, those heavy burdens you need to let go of. If it's a situation, you need to let go of it. If it's your own emotional processes that are holding you back, you need to let go of those, okay? We get the 5 of Swords here. Be careful with your friends and who you associate with. Be careful that people are not trying to take your money. Be careful where you're not being fair, okay? Because that's the thing. When Venus goes retrograde, sometimes we can be a little bit selfish. We may not be fair. Be careful with that type of energy. Just make sure you are fair. Make sure that anything that's leaving you feeling like with heavy burdens or needing to end something because you know this has been a long time and it's been in your mind and you're okay, go ahead and do it if you feel this is the right time for it. If it's your own emotions holding you back, if your own burdens holding you back, you need to let go of those, okay? There is an Ace of Pentacles here. There is a brand new beginning coming up for you, or something that you're going to be working on. Maybe it be a business. Maybe it be money. Maybe it be finances. Your finances are going to grow. You're going to work on something. Your finances are going to increase. Just be careful not to burden yourself or to create or to bring in fake friends into your energy also, because I see this as friends trying to make you do what's not right, right? Be careful with your friendships and the people you bring around you. If there's a situation or maybe burdens that you need to let go of, this is the time. And there is a brand new beginning or money or something with business or money or finances, or even a brand new beginning with something that's going to come up for you during Venus retrograde. So that's your overall energy, Sagittarius, during the Venus retrograde. And these are some information for you. I'm going to go ahead and now we're going to do Capricorn, my own sign, my own zodiac sign, the sign of Capricorn. What is the energy for the sign of Capricorn? Or what is it something that they need to do or reflect on during Venus retrograde? We're going to get the information. Again, I do not take reversals on my cards. I never do, won't, because tarot has enough negative cards that give you the whole story. You don't need to revert them or make them in reverse. So again, so what is the energy for Capricorn during Venus retrograde? What is something that Capricorn needs to focus on during Venus retrograde? Let's get the information and the overall energy. I'm going to mix them two different ways. Sometimes I mix them more, sometimes I mix them less. It depends on what my intuition and my feelings are. Again, I go by intuition. Okay, so we got some cards here mixed up. We're going to do it again one more time, and then we're going to take out the cards for Capricorn. Okay, let's see. So what is the overall energy or something that Capricorn, zodiac sign Capricorn, needs to focus on during this Venus retrograde? What is the overall energy or something that Capricorn needs to focus on during the Venus retrograde? Let's see what's going on. Ooh, one card popped out. Yay. Let's see what that card is. Ooh, 2 of Wands. So beautiful. Okay, this card is about making plans for the future. Making plans for things that you want in your life. Making plans to maybe change certain things. Making plans to grow something. Making plans to maybe do a joint venture. Because we got 2 persons here. It could be making plans with another individual to see where a certain situation goes. It could be making plans in a business partnership. Making plans just to see where things are heading, okay? We got the World card. We got 2 wands here, and we got 2 roses, okay? Each rose, 1 rose is white, 1 rose is red. So this could be two individuals with very different ways of doing things in life. But these 2 individuals are trying to find common ground, okay? And they're looking forward, and they have, one has the earth on the hand, okay? So to me, this is just making plans and seeing what works best for the situation in order to move forward, okay? It says taking the next steps, bold and ambitious choices, partnering with others who share your dreams, expanding your plans, and continue to move forward. So moving forward, never stopping. If you stop to reflect, that's fine, but keep on moving forward. And if someone wants to work on something with you, whether it be a partnership, this is something passionate. This is the fire sign. Passion. It's something you're going to go after, passion, and you're going to move forward, passion, and you're going to put the plans out there to see where it's going to take you, okay? And this may pertain or have another individual with you, okay? So this is what's going to happen during Venus retrograde for the sign of Capricorn. So taking the next steps. Beautiful card for you, Capricorn. Wonderful. Now let's go to the next sign. It's going to be the sign of Aquarius. So we're going to do Aquarius next. And we're going to see what's going to come up for the sign of Aquarius during Venus retrograde. Let's see what comes up for the sign of Aquarius for Venus retrograde. This is going to be fun. Let's see. My dog isn't barking, but he might start because he started running around again. She started. It's not a he, it's a she. Shh. So let's see what comes up for the sign of Aquarius for Venus retrograde. What's coming up for the sign of Aquarius for Venus retrograde, please? What's coming up for the sign of Aquarius for Venus retrograde? What's coming up for the sign of Aquarius for Venus retrograde? There was a card that was face forward, so I'm not taking it because it didn't fall out. I always take only cards that fall out. All right. So what is, and sometimes I might mix it again because I have the feeling. What is something for, a lot of cards want to pop out, but they're not doing it. They're not making the jumpers are not coming out for the sign Aquarius during Venus retrograde. Okay, I'm not taking those. We will be only taking cards that, excuse me. I don't take jumpers. Not jumpers to the floor. I only take them if they jump to the table. Okay, so, okay, I'll look at them. Interesting cards. Okay, so I am going only to take cards that will fall on the table. So, again, for the sign of Aquarius, give me 2 cards, 3 cards, 1 card. I would prefer 1. For what is the overall energy for the sign of Aquarius for Venus retrograde? What is something that Aquarius needs to know for Venus retrograde, please? Oh, your own card came out. The King of Swords. Okay, this is what I'm getting. I see a very a King of Swords thinking, mostly in his mind, thinking and looking kind of like sorrow, bored, not really himself, or feeling like he's not himself. So during Venus retrograde, it's for you to find that happiness within yourself. And maybe to change certain situations or to do things differently so you don't feel this way, right? So this is what Venus wants you to do. Yes, think of things that you want to do. Don't stay stuck and stagnant in your own energy. Get out of that energy and don't be impartial, to others. Open up to your emotions more, because this king tends to keep to himself. So Venus wants you to open up to your emotions and opening up to other people around you and seeing things from a different perspective that you were seeing in the last few months. I guess you were stuck within yourself in the last few months and not seeing things from different perspective. During Venus retrograde, it's going to give you a chance to break out of that and be more, open to energies around you. And it says here, intelligent, impartial, respected, stoic, receiving wise advice. So you're going to be receiving wise advice on how to move forward. Remain objective and fair-minded. Public speaking, communicate clearly, unemotional relationships, or being emotionally unavailable. So this is okay. Venus wants you to open up your emotions. Don't be unemotional, right? This is the overall energy. Open up to your emotions, open up to yourself, and get the wise counsel that you need. So this is a beautiful card. It is your own card, Aquarius. So you came out in your own reading, which is always auspicious. So wonderful. So just opening up to your emotions, being more direct, getting wise counsel, and seeing how to move forward, okay? So that is your message, Aquarius. Now we go to the next sign, which will be Pisces. What's happening for the sign of Pisces during Venus retrograde? What's happening for the sign of Pisces during Venus retrograde? What's happening for the sign of Pisces during Venus retrograde? I know this takes forever. I'm going to do my my nod readings for each sign. Each sign will have their own video, so this will be a little faster. So we're doing Pisces. What's the message for Pisces during Venus? Ooh, love. Love is in the air. Can you feel it everywhere? So we have an Ace of Cups here. A beautiful new emotional experience, a romantic relationship or deep friendship, awakening of psychic abilities or spiritual insights, of love letter, a new home. So during Venus retrograde, you can expect to be probably meeting someone or being in a new relationship, opening up your emotions a lot to this person. So, and don't be scared because Venus is retrograde that you can't get what you want out of life, that you can't get that person that you hope for, and that it's not right to bring this person into your life now because Venus is retrograde. That is a no. That's a no-no. Go ahead. If there's a new relationship you want to begin, go ahead and begin it. If there's something new you want to work on, go ahead and do it. Doesn't matter which planets are retrograde. What matters is the effort you put in, the energy you're doing to it, and the positivity you bring forward, okay? I feel like there's a loving connection, there's a loving relationship, and maybe someone who has been watching you, or you may have been watching someone for a while. Go ahead and move forward and really bring that loving feeling to that person, okay? So that is for you. And if it's not with love, go for what it is that you want, what you hope to do. Do you want to travel and you wanted to do that? Go ahead and go for it, okay? During Venus retrograde, there's a lot of things coming forward to you that you are really passionate about, all right? So that is a beautiful card for the sign of Pisces. Okay, let's go to the next. From Pisces, we're moving on to Aries. What is the message for Aries for this Venus retrograde? What is the message for Aries for this Venus retrograde? What is the message for Aries during this Venus retrograde? Let's see. What's the message for Aries? Let's see. What is the message for Aries during Venus retrograde? Ooh, Nine of Cups. Wish fulfillment or wishes. This is really having or being at a place where you feel fulfilled, where you feel like you're doing things the way you're supposed to. This is going to be a phase where you're going to feel like things that you have been missing out are coming back into the picture. This is a phase where you're going to be feeling that wish fulfillment, that you have all it takes to fulfill your own self. You don't need anyone else. You can be happy with your own self, your own circumstances, and you can bring that happiness to yourself, and you're going to be fulfilled. And maybe there's a wish fulfillment that happens during this period for you. It says here, wishes come true. Yay! Your dreams become reality, a magical time of life, good fortune, faith in the universe that all will be well. Beautiful card for you for the sign of Aries. The nod is moving into your sign, one of the nods. So, hey, that's great. And during Venus retrograde, that's what you can expect, okay? Wish fulfillment. Lovely card, Aries. Now we're going to the next sign, which we are going to do Taurus. Yes, let's look into Taurus. What's happening for the sign of Taurus during Venus retrograde? I'm doing Venus retrograde because it's a pretty long, not a long time, but it's going to be retrograde for, you know, a long, tiny period, you know, and we want to see just what happens during that period, okay? So here we go. We're working on the sign of Taurus and seeing what happens during Venus retrograde for the sign of Taurus. What's going to happen for the sign of Taurus during Venus retrograde? Let's see. We got 2 cards for you, Taurus. We got release, let go of what no longer fulfills you, let go of what's holding you back, let go of situations, persons, or things that no longer are good for you so that you can welcome in the new. And then we have the Knight of Swords. Okay, true. Cutting out things that no longer help you in your life. Moving forward in a more direct way. Saying what it is that you need and want. And going after what it is that you need and want out of life. You know, go after what it is that you want and need and communicate what it is that you want and need, okay? So we're going to read the messages for you, Taurus. It says, endings that lead to new beginnings. Releasing endings, right? The need to release situations or people that hold you back. Spiritual transformation. Beautiful. And the next card you got is decisive, focused, driven, defensive. Events that move with great speed. Choose intellectual responses to challenges rather than emotional. Sudden or unexpected changes. Review your options carefully. So this is your message for you, Taurus, for during Venus goes retrograde. Just moving forward quickly, being direct. Don't include emotions into it, right? If you're dealing with a business partnership or stuff like that, and know what it is that you want and need, and releasing of what no longer serves you. Wonderful cards for you, Taurus, for during Venus retrograde. Wonderful. Next sign we are going into is Gemini. What do we see happening for the sign of Gemini during Venus retrograde? What do we see happening for the sign of Gemini during Venus retrograde? Let's see what we see, okay? So what's going to happen for Gemini during the retrograde? What are the energies around Gemini during Venus retrograde? Let's get one card. That didn't, it fell. Okay, we got to take it. The Moon. During Venus retrograde, you got to take back and listen to your intuition. Listen to what your, emotions, your heart, your intuition is telling you about a situation, okay? Really reflecting before you make any steps forward. Listening to your intuition, being guided by the universe, being guided by your own emotions, your own heart, and your own intuition. And the card says, listen to your intuition and pay attention to signs from the divine. Unnecessary worry. Don't worry about things or situations you have no understanding of. I do that. I tend to worry about situations I have no clear understanding about. And then I'm like, why am I worrying about this? Because the best way forward is letting it go until things become more clear. And if things never become clear, then hey, that's the way the ball bounces, right? Same thing with you. Just listen to your intuition. Don't worry about things that are not clear. Let go of your fears, revelations that will make everything clear. So the moon lights the darkness, right? And whenever the moon does that, it means that you are going to come to an understanding of what's happening. As you can see, this moon is up in the daylight. It's out in the daylight. So even if certain things don't seem clear, clarity will come in for you. So that is during Venus retrograde. That is a beautiful card to get. That is for the sign of Gemini. Now we are moving into the sign of Cancer. And this is my last zodiac sign for these cards for Venus retrograde. And here we go. What's going to happen for the sign of Cancer during Venus retrograde? What's going to happen for the sign of Cancer during Venus retrograde? What can Cancer expect during Venus retrograde. Let's see what happens. This starts the 22nd, okay? During Venus retrograde, what's going to happen for Cancer? And what does Cancer need to focus in? Okay, one Cancer for the sign. One Cancer. One card for the sign of Cancer for the Venus retrograde. Ooh, you got the Knight of Pentacles. Beautiful card here to get. So with this card, it's about planning. Strategic planning, maybe coming into some plans or building something or working something out during Venus retrograde. You're going to come up with a plan or something to, focus on your money. I think it's the main focus here will be your money and coming into deciding. The Knight of Pentacles, you can see he's there. He's just planning. He's not even on his horse. So this is planning and deciding which way to move forward best in your life in certain situations. And I think that's what you're going to be doing during the Venus retrograde, okay? And it says loyal, dedicated, protective, apprehensive, plan carefully before taking action, but then get going, okay? So as soon as you come up with these plans, get going. Jump on that horse and take your plans forward, okay? And it says here, pay attention to details, wait for perfect timing, a guardian angel or someone who watches over you. Okay, this is beautiful. So during Venus retrograde, a lot of planning and deciding which way you're going to move forward and then going ahead and taking action on that, okay? So that's a beautiful message for you, Cancer. So during the Venus retrograde, as you can see, most of us didn't get loving messages. We definitely got messages about ways we can improve ourselves, ways we can move forward, and we thank the universe for all the messages we have received for this time period during Venus retrograde. Okay, thanks for listening. Now, I'm going to put up zodiac sign, one at a time, readings on the nodes changing places. I am going to have extensive reading for each. I'm going to try not to make it more than 10 minutes. I'm hoping that it doesn't make more than 10 minutes. This reading here is an hour. I hope all of you get to see it. Again, Venus is going retrograde. That doesn't mean that you have to stop beautifying yourself. Doesn't mean that you can't change your wardrobe. Change your wardrobe. Doesn't mean you can't start a relationship. Start a relationship because you're going to learn, you're going to grow, and you're going to see what it is that you want and need. And some of us may be leaving relationships behind. Some of us may decide that this person that we were with before the Venus retrograde was not the one. And during the Venus retrograde, we may meet the one. And we're going to have to really fully get to know that person even more deeper. So when Venus goes forward, we're going to be happy once we get to learn. And it gives us a chance to learn about ourselves and what it is that we need out of relationships, partnerships, or out of just loving our own selves, right? Self-love. Okay, love and life. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.